All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Dawg House Podcast with your hosts, JayRod and
JDawg.
We have a little under a week until JayRod is gone to Europe. I'll be competing. Oh yeah, yeah. I did cut my hair.
You got a haircut.
Few reasons. One, at the beginning of me not being able to afford a haircut, I was like, I'm not gonna cut my hair until I win something important.
Nice.
So I feel like in a way I kind of accomplished one of my goals for the year. So I'm happy to check that one off the box. Kind of. It wasn't specifically what I wanted, but I think it's still along the same lines. So I'll talk about it at the end of the year. I don't want to talk about it right now, but I feel like I accomplished one of my goals, so I cut my hair. So that's pretty much how long it took. It took like a year and a half for me to do something important. Yeah.
You know what I want to know?
What?
I want to know what picture you showed your barber.
Oh, I showed him. Well, I didn't even.
Who was it? Who did you show him? I know you showed him someone.
It was me in Japan. It was a picture of me in Japan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So that was like.
How vain. I want my haircut to be so good. Give me an example. Me, right?
Yeah.
This last haircut I had right here.
This guy. But at that point, that was already like the longest hair I had ever had. Like before that, it was just like the little swoosh frosted tips.
Yeah.
That was it.
I was going to say, because your haircut is like pretty specific. It'd be hard to try and explain to someone how you want it.
Yeah.
So you have to show them a picture.
Yeah.
I was curious. Yeah. I was like, what? Who this motherfucker show?
Yeah.
Like,
I was like, I went there with a woman. She was like,
where'd you go? If you don't mind me asking.
Some gay guy. Yeah.
Okay.
Did a good job.
Yeah.
Oh my God. He started, fucking, the guy that cut my hair was cool. There's another guy that was fucking weird. He was like, oh, I get there, take my hat off, and the guy's like, you need shampoo. So I was like, I just got back from training, or just got done training, head straight there. So I was like, all right, whatever, let's shampoo, whatever. He takes me to another guy, and that guy was fucking weird. Like normally they're like, this is the first time I've ever got my hair shampooed, but I asked my woman, she was like, oh, like normally they just like scrub your scalp, so they get all the dirty shit off, whatever. All
he started grabbing your private
oils.
parts.
Pretty much. He was scrubbing, and I was like, okay, this is normal. And then he starts scrubbing here, like almost like a massage. I was like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And then he goes back at the top and does the same thing. I was like, this guy's. Is he here trying to give me a massage? And then he lifts my head up, starts doing at my neck. I was like, there's no hair back there. This guy's fucking...
He's getting you a massage,
he's trying to fucking give me a massage.
You're getting a little irritated, but I know deep down inside, you're like, this feels pretty good.
I was so uncomfortable.
Who's this guy? No one touched my boogie bear like that. What's his name?
He's a very strange looking guy, but... I got back to the other gay guy, the normal gay guy, the cool one. Yeah, he cut my hair. The woman showed him pictures. She was like, this. I was down for whatever. I was either, I could have
just cut it.
I could have buzzed it all, or like just like a little trim. This is what we end up going with.
Nice.
Yeah.
Came out good.
Thank you.
Thank
you. So I wake up today.
Mm-hmm.
There's always something, huh?
Yes, there is. Something. I say that every day. There's always something.
So I wake up to knocking on my door once again. I'm like, no. Not again. It hasn't even been. I just tinted my windows. Nikki Rod's girl comes in. She's like, hey, Nikki Rod left with the what are the fucking wires? Jumper cables.
Jumper cables.
He leaves jumper cables in his truck. And there was someone coming here. They came here to give like a estimate and look at the land on how much a pool would be. So checks things out. They talk about ideas, whatever, and then the guy goes to leave. Naked Rod's already gone. The guy goes in his car to leave. His car doesn't turn on. His battery's shot. So I have to wake up, but I really don't mind helping the guy out. But it's just like
it's just like something.
It's just like there's always something.
Always something.
Wake up, immediately head straight to fucking Tractor Supply down the street.
You had to buy new ones.
I had to buy cables so I go buy cables, $50. And then we put them on, hook them up. We did them right. I did them. The guy did them. It was both not working. We test them. We're like, sparks come off. It's like it's live.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't charging his battery. So he ended up. We sat there for like 30 minutes. That didn't work, and I was like, I gotta go train.
Oh no.
So what we did is I took him to AutoZone, drop him off, and he had someone come to pick him up to take him back. Or he went to AutoZone to buy the battery. I think he had his son take him to get the car.
Wow.
And then they replaced the battery there.
God.
And then took off. But
what a great day to start your day, huh?
Yep. It was all right.
Yeah. I meant for him.
Yeah, for him. Yeah.
Do you remember the first time you ever had to use jumper cables?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Mm-hmm.
I remember the first time I had to use them. It was
Did something go wrong?
Kind of. Like it was.
You put the red on the black?
I died. No, it was like I came back real late from. It was a wrestling tournament, and we're getting dropped off like at 1:00 at night, back at the school, and I think I left like a dome light on inside my car, so my battery was dead. So it was Brady and I tried to jump in my car, and it was the first time I ever did it. So I'm like looking on Google and stuff. My parents and everyone's already asleep. It's so late. I was like, all right, let's see if we can do this. I remember just like trying to put them on and like kind of like letting go or like almost dropping them or something. I remember picking them up and them touching. It was like, pfft, like a real big spark. And I just fucking threw them down on the ground. I was like, bro, I'm not doing this. Like, I have no clue what I'm doing. I ended up doing it, but my first thought was like, Brady, I'll just come home with you. I think I was already going to his house anyway. So I was like, I'll just leave my car here. We'll come do it tomorrow. Like when I know what I'm doing. But then I sat there for like 30 seconds. I was like, I can't be that hard. It's pretty embarrassing if I can't do this. So I ended up doing it and it working. But I remember the first time when they first touched and made that spark, I was like, what the hell? Like, this is not good.
Yeah. I mean, that is a good sign when it means it's like working. Yeah. The sparks. But
still scary.
It is scary.
First time you're like, bro, I'm getting electrocuted.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah. Jumper cables, fucking, knowing how to replace a wheel, like not a fucking tire, but take a wheel off and put a wheel back on the car. I think these are like basic necessities that everyone should kind of know.
They are.
I feel like that, that's pretty much, I feel like bare minimum.
Yeah,
like shit happens. You gotta kind of know.
I'm assuming you know how to change your oil and stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. I just changed the woman's oil.
Oh really?
Yeah.
You did it without having to raise the car at all?
I raised it a little bit. But
that's one reason why I don't change the oil in the blue Nissans, because you have to raise it a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could use a curb or something, but I don't know how safe that is. Like.
Yeah.
So I just take it in. But my grandpa taught me how to do it on my old Honda Accord. I'm assuming it's pretty much the same for most cars.
Yeah, I mean, it's all the same. You just take the oil filter off, drain all the oil, plug it up, put no oil in.
Good to go.
Make sure you put a good amount of oil in. Make sure you tie the oil filter, like tighten the oil filter in enough.
Yeah.
Torque it to spec. That's pretty much it. I
got a gift for you.
Oh, yes.
Got a gift for you.
Yes. Oh, fuck, it's big. Oh, my God. Wow.
That's it right there.
Is this? Wow. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for this. You know how long I've been waiting for this?
Since you were born, brother.
Yes, in a way, but specifically, I've been wanting this from you specifically for before the Ender Dragon.
What? Really? That long? Why?
Yeah. Well, because we would talk about God all the time when we would play Minecraft.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
All the time.
Yeah.
It was like biblical lessons with JDawg. And
that's true. We did talk about it a lot.
Yeah.
Minecraft.
That was because Minecraft was kind of boring. So we would just like talk. And there was like God always came up.
That's true. God always somehow comes up. Though I would have. You're welcome. I would have gotten it sooner, but I don't like to be the guy that's like pushes things on people.
No,
you know, like go read the Bible. You got to blah blah. You know what I mean? It's like you'll gravitate toward it whenever you're ready.
Yeah,
you know.
I specifically wanted it from you.
Yeah,
I was on the verge. I've been on the verge of buying it for a month. I was like, no, it has to be from him.
He's been giving me hints. I'd be like random part of the day. He's like, I need a Bible.
Yeah, Nicky Rod. I think Nicky Rod and I were talking about it earlier today.
He told me today what you said.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He was like, "Why don't you just buy one?" I was like, "I need one from him. It has to be from him."
That's what he said. Because I have a Bible at my apartment. I have a few Bibles. One is back at home. I knew I had an extra one at my apartment, and I found it. And it was like really small. It was like a pocket Bible.
Oh, there's pocket-sized ones.
There's like small ones. I don't think it has everything in it.
Okay.
But it's just like the meat and potatoes kind of. And I was like, I don't want to give him this. I want to give him like it has everything, right? So I went after practice today and got that.
Okay.
And I was at Barnes and Noble. Went to Barnes and Noble. Went to go in my gym bag, and I forgot my shirt at practice, so I couldn't go in the store. I was like, "Fuck!" So I drove back to B-Team.
How gay is that shit?
It's dude, in Hawaii, I'd worry about that.
Bro, you just walk right in.
I know, it's so bad.
Anyways, back to the Lord and
back to the Lord. I drive back B-Team. I'm like sprinting, freaking sprinting, because like. In my head, I'm like, all right, I still got to go home, got to shower, got to eat, podcast. So I'm like, I sprint into the room. I'm going by, and I run by Nicky Rod. He's like, hey. He like stops me. He's like, yeah. He's like, I told Jay about that I could like give him an extra Bible or something, but he says he wants it from you. I was like, oh, I know. I'm about to get it right now. So I go in the changing room, scoop up my shirt, and just run back out.
The reason why I was really, I guess, hinting by saying I need a Bible recently was due to another thing me and Nicky Rod were talking about was us like talking about God and whatnot, and then we were both on the same page of like, well, we can't just only talk about it when it comes to competition. Like we have to integrate it into our lives.
Yep.
We have to.
Yeah.
We have to read it for what it is.
That was what I was literally talking about yesterday with Teresa. So my fiance, whenever Jay's not around, she has the unfortunate job of just me ranting and she has to listen. Okay, so whenever Jay's not around, I'm like, all right, well, sit down. I'm gonna tell you some stuff. I was like ranted, like, yeah, it's so easy. Obviously, if you get introduced to something that you believe in, it's always off from something really, really good happening. So like now you believe, So it's like during your worst times of your life, you don't believe in God. But then during your best times of your life, you're like, oh, he must be real. You know what I mean? I'm like, whether that's good or bad, as long as it gets your foot in the door, that's great, right?
I agree.
And then the next step is realizing like, it's got to be this no matter what point you are in your life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like you see a lot of times, like homeless people always say more than anyone else. I feel like they always say God bless more than anyone else. I don't know. Maybe it's just me that I'm like kind of looking for.
Okay. This is a good time to hop onto the movie I watched recently, Into the Wild.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to go down into a whole analysis like I always do. That's a lot. Long story short, get your popcorn. You've probably seen the trailer. Guy goes out into the wild, goes out in Alaska, runs away from home, and he wants to live out in the wild. That's the movie. What I didn't know is it's based pretty strongly off from a true story.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, and I didn't know that either until the start of the movie. I was like, oh, true story, interesting. Spoiler alert! I'm about to tell you the end of the movie. So if you don't want to hear the end of the movie, skip it right now. Do you want to hear the end of the movie?
Yeah.
Okay. So the guy dies at the end.
How does he die?
Starvation.
Oh.
Yeah.
Into the wild.
Yeah, wild got him. The wild did some wilding. Yeah, he
fuck, that sucks. That's a shitty way to die.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the movie had me sitting there just like,
there could have been anything.
Interesting.
Could have been attacked by a boar.
So the movie was very, very inspiring.
Water buffalo.
Yeah, the movie was very, very inspiring until the very end, and I started to read about the story. I was like, I really think this guy was just a pussy.
Why?
Because he seemed okay.
Don't get your popcorn.
Don't crucify me, okay? This is just my personal opinion. After reading a lot of reviews of the true story, which the movie's based off a book, the book's based off the true story.
Okay.
It sounds like this guy was a spoiled white boy brat. He had the what's the word? The privilege of being able to just go run out in the wild and be like, you know what I mean? He seemed like he was not prepared.
More like a rebellious act.
Yes, more like a rebellious kind of is what it kind of seemed like, because his parents were very, very wealthy, very rich. So it's almost like a privilege of like, I'm going to go run away and throw a temper tantrum. Worst case scenario, come back to my $1 million family. You know what I mean? That's the vibe I got, but there are still a lot of really good hidden messages even within the true story. And I'll explain them. So brat or not, white, black, Hispanic or not, doesn't matter. Right before moments of death is when you're going to get the most truth out of someone. Right? When someone, you always hear when people are about to die, they're very honest and genuine. Why wouldn't you be? You're about to die. You know what I mean? So at the end of the movie, so he starves because he eats the wrong plant. The whole movie, he's traveling around the country, meeting people. It's a really good movie, honestly. It's a really good movie. I'd still watch it, even though you know the ending. He travels around the country, and the whole time he's traveling, everyone he comes across, he tells them, yeah, I'm trying to get to Alaska. I just want to go out there and see what happens. And everyone's like, oh, why are you doing that? You're crazy. And each person he comes across, he learns like some sort of little lesson from them, like an old man or like a couple that's got divorced and back together. He learns like these little subliminal lessons of life, you know? Well, he gets out in Alaska, and he was only out there for 3 months. And he died. That's what I said. I said, brother, it sounds like you just started starving from the get-go and it just took you 3 months to die.
Yeah, fuck.
But a lot of the story comes from a diary and journal that he wrote in and kept while he was out there. That's where a lot of the information comes from.
Okay.
And they came in contact with people who met him throughout his voyage of like living off the road, and interviewed those people, stuff like that. But anyway, he's out there for 3 months. Toward the end of once winter's over, he survives a winter. And once spring starts, he decides, I'm going back home. And he gets to the river that he crossed when he came during winter, and it was frozen. Well, he goes to go back, and it's a massive river with rapids. And he's like, I can't get across this. So he goes back to, he's living out of a bus, an abandoned bus, which that's true. There's pictures, everything of him.
Wow.
They took himself out there. He goes back there. When they found his body in real life, he weighed 67 pounds.
Holy shit.
And he was normally like 140, 145.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah. And so he started starving so bad he couldn't get any food. that he brought a book of like vegetation or plants, like stuff you can eat and stuff you can't, blah, blah, blah. And he's reading it and he like looks for like raw potato root seeds or something to eat. And specifically in the book, it's like look for ones that are horizontally veined, meaning the veins in the plants go horizontal, not vertical. And he got confused between the two, ate it, woke up the next morning, he's paralyzed. He's like having paralysis. He can't move. And he's like, ooh, he can't talk. He's like crawling toward his book. He opens the book. He's like trying to find like what the fuck did I just eat? And he finds out he ate the wrong one. And result is paralysis and starvation until death. Wow. And he's just like, holy shit. So he lays there and he can't move. So he lays there until he dies.
Wow.
And as he starts to die, he's just laying there. He kind of, once the days go by, he can start to move more, but he can't stand up. He can just kind of like move around. He starts writing in his journal before he dies. And the last thing he says, and according to the story, like he wasn't even like a super religious person. And he's like laying there in the bus and he's like looking out the top of this window and he's like looking up at the sky and the cloud and he's sitting there breathing, and then his heart stops and he dies. That's the end of the movie. And the camera pans out and there's a sign that he left in front of the bus. And it says, it was like, God bless everyone. The Lord is good. See you later. Or something like that. That was the last sign he left. And then the last journal entry he wrote was his 2 years he spent traveling to get to Alaska. And then out in Alaska, the biggest lesson he took away from everything was happiness is meant to be shared. And I was like, wow.
That was the last thing he wrote in the journal.
In the movie, yes. Was happiness is meant to be shared. Or like real happiness is shared.
I see.
And throughout the movie, whenever he'd write in his journal, the movie would emphasize words that you'd see more often than other words. And it would be like lonely, alone, missing people. Like those words came up more often in his journals. And so at the end of the day, it was like, I see this beautiful, when I'm out in Alaska, he'd have moments where he'd see like caribou running by at sunset and he'd just start crying as he's watching it because it's just so beautiful. But at the end of the day, he came across like, this would be better if someone else was here seeing it with me.
Yeah.
Like that was his lesson. And I was like, very interesting movie.
I see.
And then kind of like how you said, the homeless are always like, God bless. The guy on his deathbed starving, he's like, the Lord is good.
Yeah.
Like, wow, that's interesting.
It is very interesting.
Yeah. Good movie. So now you've seen the movie, guys.
Now you guys don't have to pay for it.
Yeah.
Just a popcorn.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. You don't got to pay for it. But, yeah, so it's interesting. It's like, yeah, with the book and the Bible, it's like, yeah, you have to, like you said, it's got to be your life. It can't just be, oh, I'll dip my hand in the cookie jar when I need it. Well, only when I need it, or if like I want a cookie, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, you gotta be in there.
Yeah. 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 I believe Nicky Rod reads about a page a day. Now,
That's what it's got to be, man. Any more than that? Like before, I used to say, read the Bible because it's your obligation to. As a man, you're obligated to. As a man, you're obligated to be a good man. So, read it. And then my viewpoint kind of changed in that a little bit. I was like, it kind of turns people away because you get too caught up into the book that you get burnt out and you don't go back to it. So for a better chance of success with becoming a better man, I tell people, if you're going to read the Bible, it sounds very contradictory, but I'm like, do it when you feel like it. Don't do it when if it feels like you're forcing it, then don't read it.
Yeah.
Do it when you feel like it because you'll get so. Dude, I'm telling you, after the first 2 pages, you're like, what the hell? Like, this makes no sense.
Yeah.
So it's like, read 1 page, take a few days, try and digest the 1 page you just read. And when you feel like you sort of understand what you got, okay, read another one. You know?
Noted.
Yeah.
How do you feel about, I'm not remembering the religion specifically, but some religions don't, it might be, I'm not even going to say because I'm going to butcher it. Some religions don't allow people listening to music or don't want people listening to music.
Really?
You've never heard of this?
No. I believe it though. There's a religion for everything.
I feel like it's something that starts with an H.
H.
Not
Hinduism.
No.
I don't think it's Hinduism. Yeah, that's odd. The Bible, from what I've read so far and what I've studied, I studied the Bible for 4 years in high school. It's pretty freaking basic. Like, it's
the Bible.
Yeah, it's pretty basic, dude. People try and make it to be like impossible rules. It's like, brother, it's really just comes down to be good. It's not that hard. We just live in a time where it just seems like it's really hard because we're in a time where society is pushing us to do everything opposite of that. So it makes it seem very hard. But in hindsight, it's like, it's not like listen to this music or listen to that music. It's pretty much like, listen, if you do something and you feel like you're doing something bad, then it's probably because you're doing something bad.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
For sure, yeah. Avoid doing that.
Yeah, avoid doing the things that make you feel like you're doing something bad. Yeah. It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
There's even some stuff though I read, and it's okay to have your own thoughts.
For sure.
I'll read some stuff and I'm like,
that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to say I don't believe it, or because like that'd make me a hypocrite. But there's some things where I'm like, I need to study more into this. You know what I mean? And maybe I'm not getting the message clearly.
Yeah. I think like sometimes things like that can be a bit extreme.
Yes.
You always have to take things with your own like.
Yeah. Your own thought.
Yeah, your own thought. Take those things with a grain of salt.
Mm-hmm. That's a good word, extreme. I think a lot of religions come off. Some people say like Christianity, Catholic, Baptist, like all the religions that fit under Christian, like they're extreme.
What's haram?
What's haram?
Yeah.
It's not Christianity. Haram's like Muslim. Whenever you do something that's like against.
Haram might be the one.
The music one. Haram is basically like, if for Christians it would be like you're sinning. Like you're sinning.
I see.
You're committing haram.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. I think that the music thing is just like it's not good for like to always have something going on. Like, fucking, you have to like be able to process your own thoughts. Being able to think. When you're off your phone and shit and just like alone, not thinking about everything else.
Yep.
Your own thoughts is all you really have at the end of the day. And if you're always drowning that out with something like screen time or fucking music, which I believe that's kind of why the religion is against music, that can kind of...
I'll give you another reason why.
Why?
But before I do, I listen to music when I lift, but I make sure to leave at least 25 minutes at the end of my workout of me not with my headphones.
That's fucking hard.
Really? I do it because there's got to be times where I'm just there lifting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like actually entirely there.
I'm entirely there lifting, and when I'm between my sets, I'm thinking about my lift.
Yeah.
I'm present, so I make sure to take my headbuds out. Give me a little bit of time at the end. That is exactly why I never listen to music around the time of competing. Going up to into the for example, for ADCC, we were driving to the arena and I was listening to music, so I don't have to fucking listen to any of the bullshit that people around me are saying. Yep.
But the moment I'm there in the arena, I want to soak all of this in, and I want to once again be in my own thought, as opposed to just have headphones in and you're just kind of drowning out, just almost distracting yourself from reality.
Yeah.
Which cannot be good at times. It's like you could be, I don't think you're getting the most out of those moments, as well as people run into a lot of issues when it comes to competition with their nerves and stuff, where you're not fully almost saturating yourself into that environment. It's just you're
1 foot in, 1 foot out, because
exactly.
You're distracting yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But as far as the music thing, it's interesting because it's like, well, a big reason why I see a religion would say that is because look at the type of music that we have these days.
That as well.
Like if you're listening to music every day that in the song it's talking about raping people or calling your woman your bitch, like stuff like that. You listen to that every day, subconsciously that kind of starts to be the way you think a little bit. Yeah. So it's like I could see why some religions are like,
against it.
Against maybe not music. I don't think all music's bad, but certain music it's like it's worse than others.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Be careful of fucking living with your own thought. What you do with lifting and no music for like you said 20, 25 minutes, I need to work on doing that because that's fucking it's hard for me.
It's hard.
Also just because like I used to do this with running where I would not play music too much because it was just like my wrestling coach would say the same thing, like you're distracting yourself from the pain.
You become dependent on it too, I've noticed.
Yes.
There'd be times where I'd need music to like lose weight or like run the treadmill, and let's say I forgot to pack my headphones. Oh fuck. Yeah, I'm like, that's not good. That's not, you should not be relying on your headphones to keep you calm. Absolutely. You know what I mean? So like I started to notice that. I'm like, I don't really like that.
Yeah.
That's one thing I noticed. But as
many
far
bad things.
Yeah, as far as it's interesting though, because with the Bible, many things I think of is like man, there's so many religions. Mm-hmm. Which one's right?
Well, I think they all stem from the same fucking thought process.
Yeah, they do. Right? I don't see how you couldn't believe that a God is real or like the creator of the universe when everyone across the world, even the people who have extremely different religions, they all talk about a creator. Yeah. All of them. Everyone. So it's like...
I'll tell you what. After watching fucking Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, I completely understand.
completely understand. Makes sense now.
Yeah, it does. I honestly... Dude, the fucking... Everything. Yeah,
What with that movie? What do you mean?
What do you mean? It's like... They have
conscious. Like what?
Like we have the cross here. But they had Caesar's fucking window.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What else?
They thought Caesar was a god. Or they kind of started to take on the image of
and they thought he was a god. And then what else was it?
Well, there was a scene.
And you see how the thing split, the main antagonist is like, oh yeah, be good, like Caesar would want us to be good, and then the other people are like, oh, like war, like we should conquer because Caesar wanted to conquer. Two drastic,
bro. When you
different areas.
When you read the Bible, there's some moments that it shuts you up real quick. Like there's some moments where it's like it's quoting. It quotes like God himself, like when he talks to his prophecies and his disciples, and some stuff he says, you're just like, fuck. All right, I won't question anymore. Like, God damn, dude. Like because he talks about it. He goes, there will be people who talk about false prophecies, false gods, blah blah blah. Like he goes, and what's crazy is there's like. Apparently, I saw a video. I'd have to do the research myself, but it seems like the person who's saying this had pretty good research themselves. But saying that there's like over 300 prophecies that have come true in the Bible. I think I sent you that video, which is crazy because if you get to the point in the book, you come across plenty of prophecies. With prophecies is basically the Bible almost basically predicting the future.
I see.
And it talks about things like 3000 BC about that this is going to happen like 2000 years later, and it does. And everyone's just like, wow, how's he guessing this? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a little odd.
I don't even know.
Yeah, and like there's a point in the Bible where he's literally like people are going to try and say there's more than one God. There's people who are going to try and say that this and that and that. And all he says is like, I am. And like, that is it. I am. Meaning it's just me. I am. And I was like, damn. And there's a book too where I catch myself being like this guy named Job in the book of Job, who he's famous in the book for questioning God when things would go wrong.
In the Bible?
Yes.
Okay.
It's called the Book of Job. It's a whole book about it because the Bible is just a collection of books.
Okay.
And there's a book called the Book of Job, and Job literally there's a story being told of him that he put his fist up to the sky and like questioned God, and he's done this his whole life.
I think I know this.
Yeah, he's done it his whole life. Well, finally God comes down. He's like, so I hear you have some freaking questions for me.
Yeah.
What are they? And like before he even starts to speak, he goes, before you even speak, let me let you know who you're questioning. And it's just like 3 pages of him basically naming his accolades. Like literally, he's like, I've split the freaking ocean in half. It's like, see those stars? I placed them there one by one with my hand. Like crazy shit. And at the very end, he's like, and you dare to question me? And Job just doesn't even say anything. He's just like, all right. Like, you make a good point.
Never mind.
Yeah, he's like who are you to question the man who like parts the stars in the sky? Like, and I was like, fuck, he makes a good point. Like,
interesting.
Yeah, it's a very interesting book.
I'm excited to read it.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
You're gonna say that until you start reading it. You'll be like, this is pretty freaking hard. You thought meditations was hard.
Yeah, meditations was hard as fuck.
Yeah, I halfway through I stopped reading that book. But like I said, I made the mistake of just trying to like, I'm going to
bang it out,
hammer through this book. It's like, nah, dude, take your time.
Yeah.
Unless you're planning on dying tomorrow, you should freaking chill.
Read it all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I specifically wanted it before I left to the UK, just for competition, and also like this. Surely there's going to be some downtime, because I'm going to be in the UK for a week and a half or so.
Get the train ride too.
Train rides, fucking. Yeah, I think quite a bit of downtime. I'm excited for it.
Jay's gonna read the Bible for the first time on the plane, and the plane's gonna fucking crash. And he's gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
Dude, I bought. So I'm bringing the woman.
Mm-hmm.
I bought a flight for her flight from Italy to back home.
Mm-hmm.
Guess how much it costs?
1,500.
1,300. I don't travel like outside of the country, so I don't know what prices are like. That's for one flight.
Oh, that's not like round trip.
No, that's just one flight.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
fucked.
It's a little thick.
Yeah. Fuck me, dude. God damn.
That's rough.
Yeah.
You want to hear a cool poem from some dude. Alf Hutchinson.
Okay.
This is the last God topic I'll talk about, unless you bring up a different topic. But this is a pretty good poem. Actually, before I read the poem, Nicky Rod said something good 2 days ago, and when he said it, I was like, "This man's been reading the damn Bible." I could tell, because it made me smile a little bit because he's right. We're having a discussion between me, Nicky Rod, Ethan, and like Damien, and I forget, whatever the discussion is, Nicky Rod speaks up and he's like, "Well, we don't deserve anything," and I was like, "Where'd you hear that at?" Where'd you hear that at, you motherfucker? Yeah. and I was like, yeah, and he used it perfectly within context of what we were talking about. And I was like, yeah, he's right. It with the discussion we were having, it shut me up pretty quick because it's true. It's just like, none of us deserve anything, right? It's, you don't deserve anything, but you're grateful for when you get it.
Yeah.
You know, that's how it is. So anyways, I heard Nicky Rod say that and I was like, okay, someone's been reading.
Yeah.
But here's the poem. It's called God's Hall of Fame. Yeah, this is a good one. It says, "Your name may not appear down here in this world's Hall of Fame. You may be so unknown, few even know your name. Fame and fortune pass you by and are given to a few. But if you love and serve the Lord, then there is good news for you. This Hall of Fame is only good as long as time shall be. But keep in mind, God's Hall of Fame is for eternity. To have your name inscribed up there is greater, yes, by far, than all the halls of fame down here, and every man-made star. This crowd on earth, they soon forget, the heroes of the past. They cheer like mad until you fall, and that's how long you last. But God, he never does forget, and in his Hall of Fame, by just believing in his Son, inscribed you'll find your name. I'll tell you, friend, I wouldn't trade my name, however small, that's written there beyond the stars in the celestial hall. For every famous name on earth or glory that they share, I'd rather be an unknown here and have my name up there.
Poems are fucking cryptic.
It's a good poem. That's a damn good poem.
It reminds me of like trying to figure out a side quest in Elden Ring.
I was gonna say it's like Elder Scrolls Skyrim. You're trying to get inside of a tomb. You gotta figure out a riddle. Like, goddamn. Guess I'm coming back to this later.
Interesting. What did you get from that?
It's basically just talking about like. So before I describe that, I'll give you a little quote that kind of will help you understand what I say. It's a quote from Saint John. Chrysostom, I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. Anyways, it says, if you knew how quickly people would forget about you after your death, you will not seek in your life to please anyone but God. Okay, so with that quote being said, this talks about like basically being well known down here is nothing compared to being known up there, no matter how small.
How known you are.
Yeah, it could be just
doesn't compare.
The janitor knows who you are, and it means way more up there than down here.
Yeah.
And two, let's say you are famous down here. You are the ones that are amongst the stars. You'll be surprised how quickly people forget about you when you die.
Yeah.
Or how quickly people forget about you when you fall. People love to cheer for you when at the top, but once someone comes to replace you, the same people who are cheering, they don't cheer for you anymore. So what's the point of not what's the point, but just know, if you are in the Hall of Fame down here, you can enjoy it, but just know it's nothing compared to up there.
Interesting.
Yeah, because like you said, when you fall, people no longer cheer, but in God's Hall of Fame, like he never forgets you. So I like it. It's a good poem.
That is a good poem. Where'd you find that?
I heard it on a podcast called the Sean Ryan podcast of a director who has been banned from Hollywood from his beliefs in God. And he made his own movie called Sound of Freedom about child trafficking. He exposed the truth behind child trafficking that got him banned out of Hollywood, something like that. He has that poem like on his wall at his house.
Interesting.
Yeah. And he knows it by heart too. He didn't look at his phone when he said it.
Wow.
He's looking dead in the dude's eyes and said the whole thing. I was like, damn.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
This guy's been reading.
This guy's been reading.
Interesting.
We are interrupting the broadcast to announce our partnership with Saint Pasta Sauce. Today we're going to be going over the dog's favorite meal, right? Starts with some ground meat. Preferably bison, grass-fed, 100%. As well as some spaghetti, right? Any pasta you want, but for today we're going with some classic spaghetti. And last but not least, the essential Saint Pasta sauce.
Why Saint Pasta, Jay? Why Saint Pasta?
I'll tell you why.
Let me hear it.
All right, so firstly, there's no added sugars or preservatives, and they're made fresh with California tomatoes. Secondly, their sauce is slow cooked for 3 hours. No other sauce does this in the business. Saint Pasta Sauce releases one batch per month, and they're always selling out. So make sure you guys subscribe to their email list so you guys can stay updated on the releases. If you guys want free shipping on your first order from Saint Pasta Sauce, make sure you guys use code Dawg House Pod. That is DAWGHOUSEPOD. Dawg House Pod for free shipping on your first order. Make sure you guys check them out.
I'm gonna hold it some, okay?
You have to put it all the way in.
Okay. Okay. Just breathe out it.
Mom, can you just do it?
I know I shouldn't curse in front of my mom, but cauliflower ear sucks. I use Caulibuds ear magnets. I really wish I would have had these magnets, but my ears were messed up. These keep my cauliflower ear at bay. They're the original and best quality cauliflower ear magnets on the market. Step 1, drain your ear. Step 2, pick your buds. Step 3, put them on your ear. Make the right decision. Invest in these Caulibuds so your ears don't look like chicken nuggets like mine. Check them out on Amazon or Caulibuds.com. Had ears. Train with your buds.
Juce Organics powders are certified USDA organic, 100% vegan, non-GMO, dairy-free, gluten-free, and soy-free.
We have a wide range of products that are here to support your health needs. Our products are designed to boost energy, enhance endurance, and aid in muscle recovery. Packed with organic superfoods, Juice helps fuel your body with intense training and quick recovery.
Juice Sport Greens is an all-in-one greens supplement with 7 essential organic components, consisting of greens, antioxidants, protein, probiotics, mushrooms, and fiber to help promote a strong and healthy body. And don't forget to use code DAWG25 to get 25% off all of their products.
I guess since we kind of mentioned it earlier, I was talking about me setting up the whole, talking about my whole tour for the UK. Well, I guess just Europe in general. And setting everything up has been it's just a lot.
Yeah.
It's just a lot because I have, it's a lot of travel within the travel. Like I'm fucking all the way over there, which is one thing, but like I think I'll be in London, and then I'm like 3 hours away right after the competition. And then right after that, I'll spend a night there. And then right after that, I head straight down south, like 5 hours or like another 3 hours. And then after that, I go 5 hours north of like.
You're driving
I'm
on that.
less than 2 days. No, train rides everywhere.
Oh, train rides everywhere.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not in any place longer than 2 days, two nights.
Yeah, that sucks a little bit.
It's a lot of travel. And then back to London after fucking north up in like Liverpool, not too north, but London, and then fucking it's chaotic.
Yeah,
I haven't even booked.
Sounds chaotic.
Yeah, I haven't booked anything for the Italy. I haven't booked any stay or travel, so no train rides or stay in Italy, and we're like a week and a half out or 2 weeks.
Oh
out.
no!
And
it's because you can't find it. You just haven't gotten around to it.
I just haven't got. Last night I just finished all of the travel for the UK.
Oh, God.
It's very expensive.
Really?
It's very expensive.
In UK or Italy? Both, I'd assume, but
yeah, like pretty much. And at this, like Polaris is covering my travel and stay for the first few days, and then BJJ Fanatics is covering my flight back to Boston so I can film a DVD.
Yep.
So this isn't even including my flights because I got them covered. Damn. And I spent probably close to $4,000 already. I haven't even bought stay or.
Need more money.
Yeah, I need more money.
I need more money. That's always the case, man. I'm always like, well, I don't even have money. Once I get money, then I can say I need more money.
Yeah.
But first, I need to get money first. But yeah, dude, I'm starting to get to the point where I'm like, man, like, I'll turn 26 in like a month. Like, freaking, gonna have some kids soon.
You're gonna have kids soon.
I'd like kids before I'm 30. Before I'm 30, so I'm like, I got to start
reproducing.
Looking to have business or a gym or something. Start getting it going. So there's some money by the time the little dog comes out.
So what, the little pup.
He'll be a little pup.
So what are you gonna do? You're gonna have what's your plan within the next 4 to 5 years.
4 to 5 years. Well,
ideal plan.
Do I say this now?
We'll talk about the topic that we mentioned not too long ago.
Yeah.
Whether to say,
Yeah.
speak things into existence.
Yeah.
Or
I'm not going to talk about it anymore.
okay.
But I will say I won't be here much longer.
No. How long?
A year.
Okay. You hear that, guys? Guys, if we blow this podcast up,
if it gets huge, I gotta stay.
He has to stay.
I gotta stay.
He has to stay.
I gotta stay.
That's all I'll say.
It's up to you.
It's up to you, bastards. You listen?
It's up to y'all to keep the flame going.
Yeah.
No, that's obviously a big right now. So my outside of competition, because I have a few competitions coming up soon, so I have goals within those, obviously. But by the end of December, I want to have chosen where I want my gym to be confirmed. That's a really hard decision to make. I'm down to 3 places.
What are the 3 places?
Outside of Austin, about 45, 50 minutes away. That's only an option because of the podcast and my Pookie Bear. So that's the only reason why Austin's on there. Then the other one, a strong another option is Jacksonville, Florida. That's a big one. And then it looks to be either San Antonio, Texas, or Tampa, Florida.
Why those 2? Why San Antonio and why Tampa, Florida?
Because really my fiance made, because she's a computer wizard. We've done so much freaking data, you could call us data scientists. And we've put it into code. So basically, we put up demographics. How much money do people make in this area? What's the cost of living? The percentage of all ethnicities within the area. Basically, a default demographic chart, which you can just get off online, right? Population, everything, blah, blah. We put our top 8 places we want to go. According to our qualifications, we had the computer highlight green all the most important factors we think are important to a successful business within jiu-jitsu. High population, people make a lot of money in this area, and the cost of living in this area is a lot smaller than how much money people are making. And age group, what's the age people in this area. And whatever place is highlighted green, we're going to be our places.
So those are those 3 to 4 places that were highlighted.
No. All the places that were highlighted were the 3 big cities in Texas. San Antonio, Houston, Dallas. They were green across the charts for like a lot of the things.
Yeah.
And we're like, fuck. Because we really want to be near the beach.
Yeah, same.
So I'm like, I really want to be near the beach. I really want to make money from this. That's literally went through my mind. I really want to. That's literally what I was thinking. I was like, damn it. So the only reason why, Jacksonville is not even an option. Jacksonville is not even an option until like 2 days ago. It was Tampa, Florida. Only problem is it's got small population compared to the other places, blah, 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 blah. But then Jacksonville popped up on the radar because of the population count. All the places in Florida had like 300 to 450,000 people, whereas San Antonio, Dallas, over 2 million.
Oh, shit.
So it's like, bro,
wow,
more pickings for people, you know?
Yeah.
But I was like, I really want the beach. So I was like, let me look around. Make sure I'm not missing out a place.
Yeah.
Saw Jacksonville, and it's like right at 1 million population. And only like 12 jiu-jitsu gyms in the city compared to 1 million people. And I was like, ooh, I didn't know about this. So that's why Jacksonville is now very high on the list.
What about the rest of the coast? Like East Coast or West Coast?
So we looked at North Carolina.
North Carolina? Or
I don't want to go up.
Outer Banks? Fucking...
Small populations.
In Outer Banks, yeah.
Yeah, small populations. And we don't want to go past the middle equator. We're going to be down south, brother.
I see.
So, like, but I also don't want to go over to, like, I don't want to go over to, like, California side.
Why?
Because I think the state's shit.
What about Oregon?
Now you're up north. Now it's cold. So, and I really went to beach. So I went beach, warm, Florida. You know? So, and Jacksonville's a little bit north, so you don't get hit by hurricanes as hard. And it's a big city, 1 million population.
Yeah.
Even outside city limits, you're still less than a 30-minute drive from the beach. So I was like, this is looking good. This is looking good. So I have some dates set of when I want things done, decisions made, money spent. I have it kind of mapped out, and I'm trying to try to stick to that trajectory.
What do you think about waiting until the very last moment and then pulling the trigger instead of hyper focusing on planning shit out?
Yes. The only reason why I'm hyper focused on planning, which is very unlike me, I'm really not like that at all. I've never been my whole life, is one, I'm nervous.
Fair.
So, you know what I mean? Yeah. That's the truth.
Yeah.
Nervous. And I have hard time dealing with imposter syndrome. Even though I'm not, I already know the truth, but I'm just like, I need my brown belt. I need this. I need that. If not, then it's not going to work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm so stuck on like, I need my brown belt. So that was the biggest reason why I'm waiting. I'll train at B-Team however long I need to train to get to the level of which my understanding of jiu-jitsu under the B-Team flag is brown belt level. And however long that is, then that's when I start my gym.
I see.
Now it's starting to get
kind of close.
I have time. I don't have time. Yeah, I don't have time. So I've actually had meetings with people, lunches with people who own successful gyms. And I've talked to them, and a lot of them are just like, bro, the belt doesn't matter. And I'm like, well, there's no way. He goes, bro. He goes, 80% of the people that come to my gym, they know nothing of jiu-jitsu. They don't even know there's a belt system.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh, jiu-jitsu, what's this? Can I learn it? You know what I mean? And he's like, obviously you're a purple belt now, but you're a very high level grappler compared to the rest of the people, which is good and all. But even if you were like the peak of the spear, half these people won't give a shit. Like, they're just looking for a gym where it's like they feel welcomed.
Yeah.
Like, and they're learning good jiu-jitsu.
That's majority of people.
It's majority of people. I'm like, I understand, but I also have my own personal goals, right? It's like, I want to have my own gym, but I also want to feel like I'm a badass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I want to feel like I'm a fucking badass. So, which I think I already am, but it's so easy to be like, oh, I want to be more of a badass, but really it's just a procrastination to what you're, you know what I mean, to what you want to do.
I see.
So that's
a balancing act.
It's a balancing act. So you say, why don't you just wait till the last second and then go? It's like, that's kind of what it's coming down to. That's why I'm starting to put dates on stuff, right? It's like, there's no more like, oh, when I open up my gym, that'd be cool. It's like, no, January, it's gotta be open. Yeah. Or by this month, it's gotta be open. Like, that's it. So I'm like, okay, I gotta start going. Cause I don't want to have kids, because I want kids. I want to have my own family, and I don't want my woman to have to work, and I want my kids to be able to be around me, and basically I want my wife raising my kids, not the school system and some random people.
For sure.
So that's a big goal of mine, right? And so I'm like, man, if I start having kids soon, I want the gym to at least be at a standing where I'm not having to worry about like, oh, the gym's in the red, blah, 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 blah. I want it to be in a good standing by the time the little pup pops out, and I'm like, okay, all right. You know what I mean? Yeah.
It's tough.
It's tough. Yeah. It's tough.
Also, a lot of people just say fuck it. But also, or not fuck it as in like what you're saying with the business aspect. They just say fuck it with like the kids aspect.
Yeah, I don't
like
do it.
They're drowning in debt, and they're just like,
we have a kid. yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm like, sometimes that has to be part of the journey. Like the gym. Oh yeah, I have a child. Like blah blah blah. You know what I mean? It's like, being busy or being stressed isn't necessarily a bad thing. Yeah. I saw a good quote. It was like, maybe being stressed is not the problem. The problem is you thinking stress is a problem. And I was like, okay, that's a good point. So that's what I'm looking at. So I'm either here for a year or I'm here forever. That's up to y'all.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I feel
I
like
gotta win some shit.
a lot of a lot of the things that I kind of do are like, fuck it, let's do it right now.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying.
Bro, the podcast.
That was true. Yeah,
podcast.
yeah. You text me. He's
like,
like, we should do a podcast. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. There's just like, all right, just word is here.
We were talking about it. You know, we were talking about it here and there for fucking during Minecraft.
Oh yeah, it was during Minecraft.
We were like, damn, we're doing all these talks. Like we should.
We gotta play Minecraft again. Shit.
A lot of good times.
Some good ideas in there.
But it's like we were like, man, like the New Year's coming out, like we should start fucking right then and there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and we did. We figured it out. Like
that's a good point.
We had a did we have an episode filmed before we had a YouTube account?
Yes. We did.
That's crazy.
That's a good point. Yeah.
We didn't even know who was going to be doing our thumbnails.
Yeah,
we were filming.
Yeah.
And we were filming.
You're right.
We come a long way. We come a long way.
Yeah.
It's just like you just kind of figure it out when you get there. You
Yeah.
know? A lot of shit works out that way.
That's true. I was literally, funny you say that. I was scrolling. My girl and I were scrolling through my Instagram account for my very first post ever made on my Instagram account. And I was just cringing so hard. And then I got to the closure. I was like, man, I've come a long way. Like shit. Like, you know, you just gotta start.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
gotta start. So
Yeah. We started.
Here we are. You're welcome.
It's up to you guys to keep her going now.
Dude, even if I moved, I already told Teresa, I was like, I don't know if Jay would do this, but I would, because I love our podcast. It's like, I'd like, man, if I lived in Florida, I would cut the episodes back to like 2 a month and just fly here.
Yeah. If we can afford it. It's
Like, if I could afford it, like to
not?
fly once a month, or we split the flight, or just like
Yeah.
1 or 2 episodes a month,
Yeah.
I would still do it.
Yep.
But
Yeah. Could have the Dawg House cover it.
yeah, exactly.
It's like,
Exactly.
why not?
Tax write-off.
Tax write off.
Right off that flight.
Yeah. Dude, I spent like $3,000 on like Zen Business reached out to me for fucking.
Oh, for your own
my
personal.
own
Oh, I was going to say,
personal,
like,
taxing thing.
Mm-hmm. Damn.
Like accountant, some shit, assistant. I don't fucking know. They were speaking gibberish. I was like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure.
Fuck.
Here we go.
Spoke for like 45 minutes. A bunch of fucking nothing.
Yeah,
Like,
bunch of
oh my
hoopla.
God, bunch of hoopla, yeah. She was annoying. Anyways, I hate being an adult. do you have to leave soon?
Yes. I know. Next episode.
All right. We have one more to film before
you leave, yeah.
All right, yeah. So we'll be filming one more episode for you guys before I leave for my 2-3 weeks. So you guys don't miss out on any episodes. Make sure you guys support our sponsors, St. Pasta Sauce. They've got some of the best pasta sauce you'll ever have in your entire fucking life. If you want to keep up and make sure you don't miss out on any of their releases, subscribe to their email listing. Juce Organics.
Got it.
All the daily supplements you need. They've got it, as well as Caulibuds, magnets for your ears. Drain your ear. Slap those magnets on there, and your ear will stop filling up with fluid, so you'll be good to go. Yeah, that's all. See you
Yep.
guys in the next one. Thank you.
Peace.
Bye-bye.